I want to tell you a little story from the Happiness Sprinkling Project because this month marks the 8th anniversary of this amazing project that started on a whim, really unexpectedly. The story starts in the spring of 2013 when one of our happiness ambassadors in Ames, Iowa, has held a sprinkling the way we had done many times before. She held a sprinkling, it was beautiful, and after the sprinkling, she got a letter from someone named Susan. So the ambassador was Susan, and the letter she got was from another Susan. The second Susan said, "Oh my goodness, I so wanted to join you for this sprinkling, but I was in the hospital and I couldn't make it. Do you think there is a chance you could do it again?" So our ambassador writes to me and tells me this lady really wanted to be there and couldn't be there. And she notices also that in the message there is a photo of the second Susan, and second Susan is wearing a scarf over her head. And she has said that she was in the hospital. So our happiness ambassador says maybe she was ill, I'm not sure, but do you think we can do it again and invite her this time? So I look at our calendar and I look at where all the signs are going, and I say, I think October would be great. What do you think? And she says, I think October would be wonderful. Let me check with her. So she checks with her, she gets back to me, and of course, as life will have it, she had learned that October was to be Susan's birthday. So it is perfect. We decide, I think, on a date of October 3rd. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's when it was. So, summer happens, and then it's time to send the signs to Ames, Iowa once more. And just before the sprinkling, Susan, the happiness ambassador, hears from the second Susan, who says, listen, I'm going to be coming right from the hospital. I've had my last round of chemo. That's the last round I can receive. I'm going to be there, but I want to know if it's okay if I sit down. I can't really stand for this sprinkling. So of course, we tell her that it's fine. And the sprinkling happens, and we receive photos of Susan. Here is the photo of Susan sitting in the wheelchair with her children and grandchildren behind her. And she is making a new sign. And the sign says, "Life is good." We did not have this sign as part of our set until Susan launched it. So she's writing "Life is good." And we learned that very shortly after this sprinkling, Susan died. And we learned from her grandchildren that this was one of the last things they had done together. She had requested that they accompany her to a sprinkling. And she had decided to write her own sign that said "Life is good," even as she knew that her own life was coming to an end. So that was kind of amazing and magical and beautiful and heartbreaking, and also a testimony to saying yes. When people say, "Hey, I missed your happiness sprinkling. Do you think you could make another one?" You say yes. And when somebody says, "I'm going to be sitting down," of course you say yes. And that's how magic happens. So this is one of the beautiful stories that have taken place in the 8 years of running this amazing project. There are many more, but I really wanted to share this one with you because I think it's so beautiful.